copyright eligibility is what I'm going to talk about. What are the different works that are eligible to be registered or protected under the copyright law? It is called the Copyright and Neighboring Act of Uganda. These include literal works, musical works, artistic works, cinematograph, films, gramophone records, and broadcasts. The, the Copyright Act in Section 3, for such works to be eligible for copyright, sufficient effort must have been expended to make the work original in a character, and the work must have been written down, recorded, or otherwise reduced to a material form, with or without the consent, or be a work which is intended to be used by the author as a model or pattern to be applied by any industrial process. Copyright is conferred on authors who are Ugandan citizens or are domiciled, meaning they are residents in Uganda or are listed country or on a corporation incorporated in Uganda or a listed country. A work other than a broadcast which is first published in Uganda or a listed country and has not been the subject of the copyright by virtue of nationality or residence is also eligible to be registered or recognized under our copyright law. Copyright may also be enjoyed by government or a prescribed international body in respect of an eligible work made by or under its direct or control, rather direction or control. The duration of a copyright is generally 50 years. Now, the owner of a copyright is entitled to the exclusive right to control or do in Uganda or other country the distribution of copyrights, rather of copies, public performance for the payment in the case of literary, musical, or artistic works, public exhibition for the payment in case of films, public communication in the case of broadcasts, and broadcasting in respect of all the works. The copyright is, however, limited according to the Copyright Act in Section 2, Section 7, subsection 2, in that it does not apply to the distribution, performance, and broadcasting for purposes of criticism, review, or the reporting current events if such public use is accompanied by caricature, for inclusion in, or rather accompanied by the acknowledgement of title and authorship by way of parody, pastel, or caricature, for inclusion in a film stroke broadcast of an artistic work located in a place where it can be viewed by the public, involving the incidental inclusion of an artistic work in a film or broadcast, rather involving the inclusion of not more than 2 short passages of the work, where the collection is designed for use in educational institutions and carries an acknowledgement of the title and author of the work, involving the use of the work for purposes of instruction in educational institutions, involving the distribution of sound recording of a published literary or musical work for which fees have been paid by the copyright holder. Now, how can one own copyright? The incidents of ownership of a copyright are stipulated under Section 9, subsection 3, sections 11, subsection 1, 2, and section 12, subsection 5. The rights to have the copyright vest in the author, meaning the author owns the copyright, assign ownership, and license the copyright. The infringement or violation or trampling on or breach of copyright entitles the owner to damages for the loss arising from the infringement, an injunction to restrain further infringement, and an injunction requiring the delivery up to court and destruction or other disposal of copies or articles directed by the court. In with regard to licensing, the minister may intervene to grant a license in respect of the use of copyright if the license has been unreasonably withheld by the owner or has been granted on unreasonable terms. So, the treaty which is particularly relevant in this regard is the World Trade Organization Agreement on Trade-Related Aspects of Intellectual Property Rights of 1994. In relation to copyrights, the TRIPS, I repeat, the TRIPS is the Trade-Related Aspects of Intellectual Property Rights. It came into force in 1994. It requires compliance with Articles 1 to 21 of the Berne Convention of 1971. Protection of computer programs constituting intellectual creation, recognition of the right by the authors of computer programs and cinematographic work to prohibit the commercial rental to the public of originals or copies of their copyright works. Protection of a work for at least 50 years from the end of the calendar year of authorized publication or within 50 years from the making of the work. Limitation or exceptions to exclusive rights should not conflict with the normal exploitation of the work and not unreasonably prejudice the legitimate interests of the right holder. It also recognizes, it talks about recognition of phonogram performers and producers to prevent the fixation, unfixed performance, and reproduction of such fixation, as well as the broadcasting by wireless and communication to the public of their live performance, and also prohibit direct or indirect reproduction of their phonograms. Recognition of broadcasting organizations to restrict the fixation, reproduction of fixation, rebroadcasting by wireless means, and communication to the public of television broadcasts of the above. The provision of the Organi- World Intellectual Property Organization Copyright Treaty of 1996 is also relevant in considering the amendment to the Uganda copyright law. Essentially, the WIPO Copyright Treaty permits the World Intellectual Property Treaty, Article 8, authors of the literal and artistic works the exclusive rights of authorizing any communication to the public of their works by wire or winder means, including making available to the public of their works in such a way that the members of the public may access the works in a place and time chosen by them. I want to stop here because I will subsequently be talking about patents. Thank you. I am Talibita Moses, and I made this specifically for the class of intellectual property rights in the School of Business. Thank you.